persons have started a business during this pandemic. If you have started or if you are about to start, this show is for you because it's supposed to help you in terms of giving you some tips as it relates to do's and don'ts for startups and some other tips for you to remain consistent, because right now you have to do everything possible to ensure that you remain consistent with the product or whatever service that you offer. So as soon as it comes to mind, I will put it up there. But thank you all so much for being on my live tonight. It's really awesome having you on. You are live with Dara. Normally I'd have a glass of wine, but forgive me tonight while I drink my water, drink some water. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's what it is. It's, a friend of mine said it's Small Business Saturday, and it is indeed Small Business Saturday because we want to help businesses to grow. We want to help businesses to be better. So that's what we are on. I'm just waiting on my my guest. Nobody has logged in as yet. So I'm just waiting on them to come on so we can start the live, because it's really, listen man, tonight is supposed to be really interesting, especially for you. You know, if you're thinking about starting up a business, you know, or if you have one going, what it is that you need to do to ensure that you remain relevant. Didi, I see you come on, and hey, I wanted to start with my other person, but I'm not seeing her on, and in the interest of time, I would just send me that request to go live, D, so we can get started and get everything going. So, welcome to Live with Dara. You are so live. It's really awesome having you here tonight. Yes, Christine, I have to draw on the dresses, man. I had to draw it on. I am just coming from Ocherius, where I went to Yaman's Adventure Park. So it was a trip coming up back. I got here like in about 10 minutes too, and I had to set up and everything. But I couldn't afford to not be live because we advertised that we're starting at 8. So we're starting a little bit after 8. So let me introduce my first business person to you, because we have Yannick Page in the house, and she of course will tell us in terms of businesses the do's and the don'ts. And I just want to hear from these people. You can take notes as well, because it may be, you know, you may learn a thing or two from them in terms of what they have done and how they have grown, how they've grown their business over the period. So let me go to my first guest, and I want to introduce this young lady to you here every week. I remember, let me tell you the story as she I wait her join. Hi, Deandra. Look at Deandra's glasses, people. Look at Deandra's glasses. Let me turn it off so you can see frame. So, let me give them the story behind you, Didi, before you go into all of this. Thank you for being live with Dara. I love your hair.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Hi.
So, I remember when I started wearing glasses and I went to the optician, and my bill was like $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 just to get one glasses. And I'm like, why glasses so expensive? And then Deandra said to me, I said, Deandra, change her frames and everything. I said, Deandra, how much you pay for that? And she was like, 200 US. And I said, 200 US? Do you know the math? That's like $20,000. And I said, so what is it that I'm doing differently that you know, what is it that I'm doing that you are not doing? And Deandra was like, okay, let me take you through the process. And Deandra took me through the process. And as a result of how affordable they were, I took about 2 glasses day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dee, because at that time she was just helping out friends in terms of getting started in the business. And you know, she decided to take it up as a business at the time. And you started when, Dee?
I started actually in December 2020.
That's like, it's not even
a month yet.
Not even a month. tell us about your business.
Okay, so my business name, as you can see, is Frames RX. We sell glasses frames that are able to hold prescription lens. If you want it for just fashion wear, that's fine also, because a lot of people sometimes they find that they just want to wear it for fashion, or the regular lens helps to take away some of the glare from their computer, and they just like it and they want to wear it. So that's it, basically selling frames. I have frames for both men and women. We're looking into potentially extending the brand to other glasses accessories soon, and also to offer probably prescription filling in a more suitable time frame, so persons can get their prescriptions filled with us as well. So far it has been a very interesting journey, and I'm enjoying it a lot so far.
Hold on, before you go any further, let me tell him. So something like this CD would cost about near $100,000, oh,
right?
With the frame and the lens. And guys,
right,
I got it for under 200 US. That's about less than $20,000, and it's all because of Deandra. So Deandra, you started this business. If persons would want, one of these fancy frames, they would come to you. Or if they want the frames and the lens, they can also come to you and you can get it done, right?
Right.
How in terms of the selection, how does that go?
In terms of the selection of the frames?
Yeah, because not all frames will fit all face.
Okay. All right. So personally, I've been wearing glasses for a very long time, for most of my life, basically. So I have a good handle, I would like to say, on what type of frames fits what type of faces. So I do offer consultation services, which is completely free. All you have to do is message me and say, hey, I'm interested in this type of frame. Or even if you haven't made a choice as yet, and you want to know more, we can also set up a consultation day, so we can meet up and I show you the frames and you're able to fit the frames and so on. And I'm a very honest seller, so I like when my clients are happy and when I know that this glasses shape is right for your face. Dara has like a oval like face, so like frames like with cat eye like she has on now will definitely fit her face. We also have that frame in stock that Dara has.
Something wrong with the connection here?
Huh? Sorry? I'm not hearing you.
Oh no, there's something wrong with the connection. You were breaking up a little bit.
Okay, yeah. So I was saying that I also have the frames that you have on now in stock. So if anybody is interested, feel free to reach out to me. But I started this business mostly because I had a difficulty with sourcing glasses that were nice and trendy and that could handle my type of prescription, because my prescriptions tend to be very heavy. But every time I would go to the optician locally, they always had some styles that I didn't really like. So I went out and sourced frames that I liked, and so that is how Frames RX was born. So
Mel is asking you if is it only the frames alone that you sell?
Currently, our main product is selling the frames. But if you would like us to fill your prescription, we also offer that service at an additional cost. You would get the prescription to us, you go to a local optician, you get that prescription, you bring it to us, and we'd be able to process it and tell you what it would cost to fill the prescription, plus to get your lens here. Usually the process to get the lens and the glasses here takes about 3 to 4 weeks, but the wait is way worth it, and you save a ton of money. So
a whole heap
of money. So 3 to 4 weeks is not anything long when you want to save money.
But really, even if you do it locally, it takes about the same time for you to get it back when you go
3
and
to
order your
3
frame.
weeks,
You have to
right?
pay for the, yeah, so it's the same thing. So Deandra, a lot of people talking about this pandemic and the effect it's having on businesses. Why did you decide to start your business at this time?
Well, for me, I'd like to say that the pandemic really put
You hearing
things
me,
into
Dee?
perspective. Are you hearing me?
But all right, say them again.
Okay, I was saying that the pandemic for me really put things into perspective. I've had this idea for a while now, almost 2 years, and I was waiting and waiting till the time was right. But when the pandemic hit, I was like, the time is never right. I have to start. I have to start. I have to get on the ball because it's now or never. Anything can happen. And so I decided to just do it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you're saying you're not even 1 month in. How is it going?
It's going really well. The feedback that I've been getting has been very overwhelming. Like, I did not expect to really get the amount of feedback that I've gotten so far. It really said to me, Definitely you should have started this business long time ago. And it's something that I really actually like doing, helping persons to figure out what frame fits them, consulting with persons to say, hey, these glasses would fit you, because I'm the type of person, if I see your face, I know which glasses will fit you. I know which glasses you will love. So it's something that I'm really passionate about, and I just thought that it was now or never. So it's been going well. It could, things are building up, and I just like the process so far. It's a learning curve, and it's been good. I can't complain.
Show us some of the frames that you have.
Okay, so I'm going to first show you our most loved frame at the moment. This is our Smitten frames. Don't know if you guys can see it.
Can you put
It's
it
a
on?
cat
Or you
eye.
can't see. If you put it on, you can't see, right?
I can see. So this is our Smitten frame.
Ooh, that's nice. And look at the detail on
Really
the
nice.
sides.
The details are really, really nice. So it has a gold detail here, and it has a tortoise, kind of half tortoise, and then it's black at the top, and then it has a gold detail at the front. So fun fact, all our glasses are hand-picked. They're like styles to me. So I really go in and I choose carefully to say, I think this one would do well, and it's a unique frame and so on. So I really, really love this frame, as do a lot of my customers. This is 8,500. It's made of acetate material. That's one of the
8,500.
Yes. Cheap.
Cheap.
So, and it's made of acetate material, which is one of the most durable materials that glasses are made of today. And you can dress it up, you can dress it up, you can dress it down, and I think it's just a fabulous frame.
Next,
we have, I also have the black in it as well. If you want to check it out. We have this burgundy frame that is also very nice.
Ooh,
it's a cat eye.
That is nice.
It's a really
Listen,
nice.
how many frames can one person own? Because I right now
Million.
I have about 4.
Any amount you want to own. Change up your outfit every time.
Jeez.
So it has gold, it has red here, and it's just a nice sophisticated look. I really love it.
Yes.
And Dara's frame is here as well.
Which one that?
Or boss frames. This one that you have on now.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Right?
Look at it. It is really nice.
Right. So it's pink and black. It's a cat eye frame. It's a really statement frame, Really goes with anybody's face. So we have these frames that I would like to term them as unisex frames. So both men and women can wear these frames. Clear ones. These are square, rectangular, I should say. And I also want to know that all our frames are branded Frames RX on the inside. It's a really cute detail on the inside. I'm gonna try to show you guys. Are you seeing it?
All right, Deandra, we can't see that, but they're branded.
Okay. But they're branded Frames RX. And if you're if you're not sure if any of the frames will fit you, if you look into your current glasses frame on the left, on the right hand side, yes, you can see the size of your frame, and the size of the frame will tell you what size you wear. So you can always use that as a reference if you want a frame.
All right.
So this is nice.
So you start this business less than a month ago, and you're saying everything is going good. Do you have any drawback? Are there any challenges that you're facing?
Any challenge that I face, I don't view it as a challenge. I view it as a learning curve. The challenge that I have, I would say, is persons probably they don't pay attention to the details on the page, so they'll come and they'll ask for prices and stuff when it's in the caption. But I think that is just a part of, you know, business. You have to always be accommodative or accommodating. Also, I feel like the next step would be to get a website, so it's much easier for all of the details to be in one place. So that's the next step for me. That's the only challenge. A storefront, if you would say, that is very user friendly and so on, where persons can go and get.
But right now your business is only online, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. So what advice would you give to someone who really want to just step out and start that business? Pandemic or no pandemic, what say you?
Okay, so my advice would be to just start. You don't know where it's gonna go, you don't know, just start and keep the momentum going, keep consistent, if you want to post on your social media every day, try to set aside time to do your tasks. If you have a 9 to 5 like I do, what I try to do is set out blocks of time after work to get things done. Set out blocks of time on the weekend where I know that I have to work on this in order for the rest of my work week, both personally and professionally, as you know, a marketer, everything to go smoothly. So I plan ahead a lot. So try to plan ahead. Try to just do it. Have faith in yourself. If there's any idea that you have, even if somebody else is out there doing it already, there is room for everybody. There's room for everybody. Just start. Just do it. You don't know what input or what difference you can make in a certain industry.
In terms of like startup, the capital, how was that for you?
Startup was mainly through saving. I knew that I wanted to do this, so I started saving towards it. So it's a personal investment on my part. I would say max out all the materials that you will need to get this business going. If you know that you're selling glasses like me, or if you're selling another product, you think about the product cost, you think about the packaging cost, you think about the shipping cost, and you calculate what you would want to do to start up, right? Or how much you would need to start up, and you start from there and you build out from there.
Are you one of those online persons who say DM me for price? No. Tell me why
all
not.
The prices are in the description. I don't do that because I don't feel like there's any reason to do that. If you're selling a product, it should be transparent. There should be no reason why you would need to send me a private message to find out the cost of something that is public on my page. Understand me? I don't see the reason behind it. Maybe other business owners probably have their own reasons as to why they do that. But for me, I want my customers to just read the caption, see where it is. If it is that you're unsure about something, message me by all means. But the prices will always be in the caption.
So you're saying, if you have an idea, just start. Somebody was asking the cost of the frame that you are now wearing. You say that's 8.5, right?
Yes, this is 8.5. I have this frame.
And what's the average cost? What's the average cost for the your frames?
So the average cost is between 7,400 and 8,500. Correct.
Say that again.
7,400 to 8,500.
Yo,
very affordable.
Yo, big time. So if persons want to get in touch with you, Deandra, how can they?
Okay, so if you want to get in touch with me, please, everybody, it would mean the world to me if you follow my page, FramesRX_ on Instagram.
And that's the only place you advertise right now, right?
That's the only page that I advertise. I'm also on Facebook, so you can look for FramesRX by D Hannah on Instagram. I'll send a message in this live afterwards, so you can follow those pages. You can DM us, and you can also send us a WhatsApp at 876-564-0071. So that's 876-564-007, and we'd be happy to help.
Yeah, I'm coming to you because I need that pink and black one, and I also need the black one. Since you say I can wear as many of them as possible, because I think, just like your outfit, your frame also does a lot for you in terms of that that you need. It does. And of course, even if you don't wear glasses, you can always just put on one of them just for fashion sake and rock it, right?
And rock it with any outfit that you want to.
Yeah. All right, Deandra, thank you so much for coming on. I hope you need to stay tuned because Yannick is coming on and Yannick is listening right now. So she may have some advice for you as to how you can boost your business to make it bigger and better. Because if you're just a month in and you said things going good, that means it will only get better.
It will only get better.
Thank you so much, Deandra.
All right, thank you.
All right, take care. Bye. All right, so that was Deandra talking about her frames. And listen, man, I tell you, when I started out wearing glasses, guys, it was an issue. $88,000. I was like, what? So much money just for one look of glasses? I tell you, when she introduced me to this, I was like, whoa, this is so good. So good. All right, so my next guest, I met her through a friend of mine, Janella Ella, and hey, I love your hair, Miss Certified.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
Yeah. We're rocking the Miss Chin very well.
Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah. So, guys, I want you to meet Certina Fuller. Now, Certina started her business. Boy, Certina, tell them how you start your business. I want you to tell them your story.
Okay, so I started my business about 2.5 years ago. It was founded through a tragedy. So I suffered postpartum depression and severe hair loss. My hair was not in a good state. I thought I had beautiful hair, and I thought that, with pregnancy, my hair would have stayed the way it was because it was beautiful, luscious, and nice, and bouncy. And I did everything that I thought would prevent me from losing my hair, but it didn't stop it. And I lost my entire hairline, and my self-confidence went low.
What do you mean you lost it? As in everything?
Yeah, my hairline was like bald, pitchy-patchy.
My one patchy right now, my one pitchy and patchy. But you said everything went.
Yes, it went. I didn't want to go outside. I wore a lot of hats. I was indoor a lot. So it was just a lot of trauma I was going through mentally and physically, and how I looked with body changes, hormonal changes, first time mom. So it was a bit traumatic. And my self-appearance was something that was always important to me prior to what happened. And I said, you know what? I need to do something about myself. And a family member recommended a wig. I am not a wig girl. Okay, I don't wear those things. And when the person bought it for me as a gift, I liked it. But then after a month, it come like trash. And all the money just went down the drain. I was like, no, this is just a waste of money. And I sat down and I examined it and I said, you know what? I'm very skillful. I wonder if I can make one for myself. And I went researching YouTube. I was always hair savvy though. And I found out that there were courses that they offered on how to make a wig. And I basically self-taught myself. And once I reached to a level, I decided, you know what, I'm going to take these courses. Very expensive, but I'm going to invest in it. I sort of like it because I was making wigs for myself. And it gave me a little bit more self-confidence. And then from there, I won some courses to do things. And the teachers would say, you know, you're good. You're really good. I said, really? I'm really good? And they're like, yes, man, you're really good. You need to take this up. And then it was that day when that world-class teacher said to me, you know, you need to go and take this seriously. And then from there, I got healing from postpartum depression and decided to say, you know what? The wig did this for me. I wonder what it could do to someone else. And from there on, I said, you know what? This is my purpose. I need to be making wigs. I need to be doing this.
And that's 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. How has it been going?
How has it been going? Honestly, it has been ups and downs because with the hair industry and the beauty industry, you have to constantly improve yourself. You have to constantly be in par with everyone else. And because my background, I was not in the beauty industry. I'm in the medical field, a physiotherapist. And I had to teach myself how to do certain skills, cutting and styling and quality. And I had to research because I wanted to offer authentic and quality. I had to go and research. And as I grew, people started to comment about my hair, and I just start getting someone saying, yo, can you make one for me? And I said, you really want to make one for you? You know, I battled with self-confidence. And I guess it's because I just didn't see myself as a hairstylist. I just saw myself as someone that can make wig. And I grew as I got more compliments. I got a few more clients. I grew in confidence of my skill. And then from there, my business began to grow because I first started in my dining area. And then I get upgraded to another little area in the house. I am home-based. And then from there, I said, you know what? Get this, save up little money and get a proper chair. Save up little money and get this, get that. And then from there, I can say I am gradually going uphill. There are days when I would want 10 million clients. But I am brought back to reality that God gives you what you can handle. You think you can handle way more. But if you want to be effective and give the service that you say you want, just easy. At this time, do the building and growth that you need to be doing right now so that when I'm ready to give you a plate full, you can handle it.
So that your wig line started out of your first child. Then came your second. And what happened?
Oh, Lord. So my second child, it's actually from my second that I decided to start the whole wig making. So I was like playing around the wigs with my first, and I got the confidence with my second. Because yes, my hairline went again. It happened again. And I was at a better place. And I was saying, you know what? This wig thing is serious. Now, I just had another child. This is my third. She's 9 months old. And my hairline is gone again. Not as bad. But from the second, I built products. And I consistently use it on myself and on my boys, because I have 2 boys and a girl. And I kept using it on them and just testing to see, I said, no, man, I must can combat this or decrease the the shedding, the hair loss. And it has worked, because when was it? In July last year, I had the same bald patches right here.
Yeah, you say you're gonna show us.
Yes, I can show you. All right, let's rewind. Rewind for them. Rewind. All right.
Yo, you see the versatility of the wig? Look how much she just pull it off and she's like sleep time and it.
Oh yeah,
I love your wig.
My wigs on. You know, my wigs are easy to wear, so that's it.
So I don't see you having any edge issues though, Certina.
Hold on. So right here was gone, like honestly, and I'm not lying. Right here, both sides, and then right here started. It was gone, like it really was gone. And the funny thing about it, I was preparing myself for the hair loss. I was prepared. I said, all right, product, let me test if you're really good. Let me see if all of the 2 years that I was using you, let me see how good you are. And I was actually anticipating the hair loss. It came exactly at 3 months. I calculated everything. And I said, all right, edges, me and you. Here we go. And I worked this and I documented every single week. And I was just like, Jesus, it's really working. Like, you know, like you get something new and you can't believe it's working. I was like, yeah, man, it's really working. And that was July. And now my edges definitely in.
July this year, July last year, like 6 months ago?
Yeah.
So hold on.
Yeah.
So you started using these products before, but July is stepping up, you start documenting.
Yes, proper documentation. I wanted to test it on myself. I wanted, because everything that I do, every product that I recommend is personal testimony. It's not all right, may I try a thing? No. Everything for me, I've used, I've worn, I have researched, and I've made sure that they're quality. That's what I provide. Quality and authenticity.
Put on back your wig then on Certina. Let me see.
Let me just change it up for you. Let me just
change it up.
Yeah, I change my wigs very often. So this one is like my first wig. The wig that started the business. Put on this hairline, you know, to cover those edges. Because they're still very baby size.
I don't know if it's me, but this thing pixelated. I don't want to see there's something going on. Your video is a little pixelated.
Is it? I wonder if it's the, I mean, is that better? Let me dim, bright. Better? No?
Guys, are you seeing her? Are you seeing her clearly?
Are you?
All right, go on. I'm seeing it, but I'm not seeing it the way I want to see it. But yes, man. So that's the
Miss Classic.
Yes. Yes.
This is the wig that started certified.
So they're not seeing it so clearly, Certina. They're not seeing it clearly.
I wonder why. Let me tell you. I wonder if it's Digicel or Flow.
Don't call no names over here. Certina, don't call no name over here.
Okay. So, you still can't see it so good?
I'm seeing it, yeah.
So this one is called Miss Classy. This is the pioneer. This one is the one that gave me the hope, and it made me feel so confident. It made me feel sophisticated, like I was born with a nice enough hair of, with body.
Yes.
And, I have good hair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is what this does to me. And I love it because certain settings, certain occasions, wherever I go, depending on the people who are around or the setting, I switch my wigs. The authority I want to attract and the attention I want to attract. So I switch my wigs. So this is really nice, for the corporate woman. You have a speaking you're going to make. You're going around a lot of professionals, and you just want to command the respect.
Listen, I can't even see where your wig start or stop. I mean, like I have sewing, and let me see. Yours is so cool. Look there. It's like it's your hair.
Yes, darling, that's the point.
Yes. So, how affordable are you?
All right, let me just talk to you about affordability. So first of all of my wigs are imported from either Vietnam, Cambodia, or India. Now, when I started the business, I wanted to get good quality hair that would last you. So my wigs are an investment. We have payment plans that we can do. So something like this, which is Miss Classy, is $48. It comes with the raw Vietnamese hair, which is cut from a woman directly in Vietnam and shipped to me. You're not going to have no tangling, no shedding, and all you need to do is wash it and go. This wig is my oldest wig, and look at the hair. It is beautiful, it's quality. And then now I have another line of wigs where I'm using virgin hair, which those hair are coming from China. The vendor that I have, I really do love my vendor because it is, even though it's not raw hair, meaning it's untouched, unprocessed, the hair has been lightly treated for it to look nice. However, the hair may not last as long. So a lot of the hair that you see people selling you and saying that it is this and that, it is not. It is not authentically raw. So that's something that I sit and explain to my customers. Also, if you have hair here, new, scrap, whatever it is, I will machine sew your wigs and make you get certified anyways. So anybody, if you are one of those ladies who you want something, you know, a little bit more pricey, or something that is a little more durable, you go with like my raw collection, and then you have the virgin collection where it's more affordable, but you're still getting it quality made. So while your hair may get tangled, your wig will be very well made and secure. And then I've started a new line where they call certified picks, where I get ready-made wigs, things that I like. Easy wigs, you're not really an everyday wig wearer. And you just want something if you want to change up your look.
So the question is being asked, do you maintain the wigs?
Let me tell you what I do. I do everything wigs. So I constructed, they're all machine made. So that's way durable than a handmade wig. And I wash them, treat them, I repair it. If your wig is too big, I make it small. If your wig is too small, I make it big. If you have a bald patch on your wig, I will reventilate, which is the same thing that the Chinese vendors do. When you get a lace, I can do that. So
do you have another wig close by, Sakina?
Oh, darling, of course. Let me get it for you.
Let me see another one.
All right, let's take.
Do you have names for your girls?
Yes. So this one is Miss Classy. The one that I had on previously, we just slap her on back so that you remember how she looks. This one is raw Cambodian hair. This one is Miss Fantastic. So I wear this one, you know, I'm going out, you know, at night, and I want that nice, big, bouncy, voluminous hair. I mean, yes, you know, it may not be mine, but I don't care, and I look good in it. All right, and then I have the mushroom. A lot of women hear mushroom. I'll soon show you the Rapunzel one that is beautiful and long. This one is easy, put on.
Right here. Watch here. Give me a side view.
My
good
hair at
girl.
the back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yes. So this is just easy. Drag on, you know, nice with a nice hat. You know, have a sneak peek. You're going to the country. You don't have to worry about nothing in here. Or you're going to the gym and you want to have something, don't worry, but you still look cute. Or you're going to get a massage. You don't want nobody up in your neck back. So you have something really nice and short. Put on and go. Now, another one. This one is the mushroom. Now, normally a lot of women glue this wig. This is the very short one. A lot of women glue it. And I don't recommend that because after a while it will wear and it can itch your scalp. This is machine sewn. Then I have this one that I was wearing earlier. This one is Miss Rapunzel.
Oh, that's the one that the do-rod one. Yes, that name goody roll out on these things. Yes. Wait, reach it on your waist. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it is lovely, and this is the natural. This is the raw Indian wave. Now,
Mm-hmm.
this one, all I do is literally just wet it, scrunch it, and go. A lot of people will say, so why should I invest in raw hair or invest in a more pricey wig, and I can just get a little cheap one and put on and go? Because you see, if I'm going to get something, especially if you are a wig wearer or a artificial hair wearer and you want something to be authentic, it's just like you buy a nice slippers, you want for it to last, you spend the money on it. You invest in something that is quality, and if you can't afford the quality, ensure that what you are purchasing is well made. So all of my wigs are custom made. So when I make your wig, you come in, you do a consultation, I do your head measurements, we talk. We talk about what is best for you. So you come and think you want this, and I will say to you, listen to me, don't get that, you're not ready for that as yet.
Yeah. Yeah. I love your wigs. They're really nice.
Thank you.
I can see me in that one. I can see me doing road in that one there. That one there. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
lovely. It's
Yeah.
very nice. They're really, really nice. And it took me a while because wigs really took me out of the box. And I'm glad it did, because I was very modest when it comes to my hairstyle. And it just gave me the boldness and
Your
the
natural hair
confidence.
is your hair natural?
100% after my hairline did peel out. Because I knew I wasn't finished childbearing. I said, listen, I cannot traumatize myself again, creaming my hair and then it peel out and gone. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start taking care of what's underneath these wigs. Because a lot of people think that you wear a wig is because your head bad. Mine was bad. But I'm treating it. I'm beginning to love and appreciate my natural hair. So sometimes you see me and I love to do it. So you see me in wigs, the next time my hair is natural and you said, who is that? Is you? It's me. Same one, darling. It's me.
What are your challenges, Sartina?
Pardon me? One of my challenges. Especially during COVID, wig making and my hair products is my therapy. And being a mom, a career mom, juggling wife, motherhood, physiotherapy, and wigs was difficult because I was homebound and I had to prioritize what I had to do during COVID. My kids need me. I have a newborn. I have 2 kids doing homeschool, which was mentally draining, mentally stressful. And I questioned. There were times in COVID I said, but why would you want? I was thinking, why do you need a wig and you're not going nowhere? Why do you need it? Why do people want my service? And I had to sit down and think, you know what? You said you're going to test your oil. Bring something else that people will need. So people are home. Bring a product. Go out, look, sit down, brainstorm, and see what other service you can provide. I also struggled with just trying to find the passion again. There were waves, but I also think that was a hormonal thing post baby. Waves of feeling high. Yes, I'm pumped. And then reality sets in and you have all these things going around you. And it's like a lot of times I have to come and go back into my quiet place and get back into, listen, don't get derailed. Businesses go through waves. Businesses all have a high period and a low period. And low period don't mean that you are buried. It's just that you are growing. You know, your roots soon come up. Just take your time. In that time, go back to the book. Go back to the drawing board. So that when you do emerge, you have something that is impactful.
Your wig line, do you have a high and a low as it relates to cost? Because somebody asked that question.
Yes, I do. I have wigs ranging from about 20,000 and up. But then,
And what about your?
Mhm.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And if you don't necessarily, you don't want to buy any hair from me, I offer wig making services. So once you have the hair, we can make a wig for you, and it will be certified.
And then what about your edge care system?
My
How?
certified hair growth oil.
Oh, I love the bottle.
Darling, now we say that. Now let me tell you something. This was a lot of stress because I never just wanted my product to just sit down and just look like everything else. I wanted it to represent my brand. So I went researching for the color, the look, and everything. Thank you. When you compliment my bottle, I really appreciate it. So I have my certified hair growth oil that it is homemade with a lot of love. And this is one of my newest products along with my certified edge slayer. It is edge control, a jam this can be used in children, men, or women.
They say edge control not good for you. Is that true?
Anything in excess is not good for you. So even with wig wearing, that is why I've also decided you need to take care of your hair. So someone who probably wear braids all the time, that tension can actually cause alopecia. Someone who, wears something in excess, you can't have drama. Even if you cane your hair, women who cane their hair the same way all the time, catch up a hair in the one the same way all the time, you are prone to having trauma and having damage. And with the hair growth oil, I have made sure that the hair growth oil is helping to grow, and the products in the edge tamer is also helping to grow.
Okay.
So you don't need to be wearing the edge tamer every single day. It's particular if you have a certain style. Once you set it properly, it will stay.
And what's the price range for those?
Okay, so the certified hair growth oil is 3.8, and the edge tamer is 2.2.
All right, so Tina, so you started off, out of an adversity. You have actually built a brand, built a business. What say you to somebody out there who maybe have that idea of starting something, or somebody who, start off and it going rocky? What say you to them?
Okay, what I will say to you is, so first of all, in life, people think that some people don't think we have a talent or a gift, and every adversity is the worst thing that happens to you. We all have a purpose and a passion. What are you good at? What is it about you that makes you special? We all have. If you are good at folding papers and you fold it nice, creasy, or you seal an envelope very well, and when you seal your envelope, you're proud at it. Did you know you could start a business with that? My husband says to me, everything you cast your eye on has a value. Someone made it. You can make it also. I'm saying this and I'm just full of goosebumps. There's so many things in life that we are just taking for granted that we could do and start a business with. If you started the business, you're going to go through wave. It's not going to always be yes. And you will have months where your budget is not meeting the demand. You will have months where you have displeased customers. You will have months where you have a spark and idea, but the money no day. But you know what I said to you? Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Give. So you have a product. You have a service. Just give it to someone. That seed that you sow is valued way more than the money that you think you have. Because growth comes in giving. And growth also comes in just sitting and waiting.
How can we get in touch with you? How can we get certified?
You can get certified by going to my Instagram page at Certified Hair, Facebook at Certified Hair, Twitter at Certified Hair, YouTube at Certified Hair, or you can actually contact me at 909-1803. Sorry.
Do you deliver? Say that
Or you
again?
can contact me at 876-909-1800. Or you can check my website at certifiedhere.com.
Do you deliver?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
Yes, I do. I do.
Okay.
I do deliver, and you can come and collect.
All right, certified. I mean, I know, you see this one, you know, when as soon as I take it out, I go and wash it.
I can make a wig with it.
Put it on line, make it dry, and carry it come
down.
down.
Yeah, carry it come. Carry the wig come. I will sort it out.
No, I mean, I saw you, you did a wig for Janella when she was doing the transition between bald and growing back. And I was like, yo, Janella, wait at the wig there. Right? I know, I mean, that wig was it's the classic. It's a classic lady one, right?
Yes, Miss Classic.
Yeah, and for those who watch news, you'd see Janella on it, like when she just started the transition. Of course, she stopped wearing it now, but yeah, and I was like, yo, you're bad. You know your thing. You know your thing certified.
I'm humbled. I'm very humbled. Thank you very much. It means a lot.
Yeah, man. So, guys, if you want to get in touch with her, you know, you can contact her on her Instagram page, on Facebook. You also have your website and your telephone, 909-1800.
Correct.
Yeah, it's an easy number to remember. So, yeah. So, put on about one of the week.
Because I was and I said, no, man. No, man. No. Come on now.
Yes. Nice. Thank you, Ms. Certified. So listen, Unique is going to be on Unique page, International Business Trainer, because you know your thing can't just be local, it have to be global. You see, because everybody want wig. Everybody want wig. So Unique is going to be on, and I'm sure she has some advice for you as to how you can grow and make your business bigger and better. So please stay on, all right?
I will. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you so much for coming on. All right. So from one here person to another. Now, if you recall, if you were watching my live, this lady was the first person to come on my live. She started out doing hair products, Nature's Pure. She actually sent me her stuff one day and I used it and I was like, yo, because when I was going natural, I didn't know where to go in terms of getting the local made stuff. And I was like, she sent it to me and she was like, use it and see. And I used it and I was hooked. So she has her line and it's been going on for years. It's not just today. So it's not somebody who has started that line in the pandemic. But what has happened is, I'll tell the story while I wait on her to come on before going to you, Camille. I'm coming to you next. Is that since COVID, she's been having some challenges in terms of getting the container for her products. So what has she done? She has started a new business. She has diversified her line, and she's now, because she's not able to get the containers to do it, she has started a natural hair salon. And I hear that it's getting bigger and better. So you see, out of one adversity, she kind of turn her on and make fashion. I don't see her coming on. So I will wait, because I know she was at her shop. Yeah, she turned around and make fashion, not joining. So I wanted to do the same, you know, move from one here to another, but I'm having some challenges. So I will go on to my next guest. She's overseas. She's based in the United States. She has actually started a business. And people, you know, when you hear these stories, you must know that, listen, hey.
Hi, Dara.
Hey. How are you?
How are you?
So,
hi, everybody.
So
can you hear me clearly?
You on. Yes. So I'm just telling them that, you know, listening to all of your story, it's not, you can't make pandemic hold you back. You just have to just go out there and go hard. Hi, Camille. Thank you for coming live with Dara. How are you?
Thank you for having me, and I am doing very well. It was so nice hearing the other ladies Miss Wigologist. Let me tell you, I'm going to order a wig because,
Yeah, man,
darling, she is
Michelle.
fierce.
You know, that's what Live with
Yeah.
Dara is about, connecting lifestyle issues with products and services. So, yeah, man, go and support our
Yes.
business. That's what we're talking about. But tell me about your business now.
Okay, so Kivian
Wait,
Cakes,
wait, wait,
yes?
wait, wait, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me tell you the story first. So, I remember, I know Camille for years before she migrated. And I remember around about Christmas time, Camille would actually take time off from work to go bake. And
Mm-hmm.
she baked cake for everybody and give them Christmas cake because she just
Yes,
loved baking. But she has now turned this passion, this hobby, into a
into
business.
money. Yes,
Yeah, but so tell them
yes.
who Camille. You're a flight attendant.
Yes. Okay,
Go ahead.
so
Mm-hmm.
I work for the airline, and so with this pandemic, I had to take some time off from work, and because of course with COVID and flying all over, I wanted to be safe, and I live in Maryland, so the coronavirus is going on really bad here, and so I took some time off from work. However, I was cooking, well, I'm still cooking on Fridays. I do Jamaican food on Fridays for my other halves, the company that he works, and some other business places. But with that, I was still bored being off from work, and I just wanted to do things. And then coming up to Christmas, I usually bake, as you mentioned, and I was getting ready to start baking to give to friends and family because that's what I usually do as Christmas gifts, or part of Christmas gifts. So my boyfriend, he was like, "You're not giving any cakes away this Christmas. You're going to sell them." And I'm like, "No, sir, that not sound too right," because you're like, you're always giving stuff away and now you're gonna be selling. So that part never sit too well with me. Anyway, I started selling cakes in October. And let me tell you something,
And
Kivian
tell you it's
Cakes,
October last year, like about 2.5 months
October
ago.
of 2020, yes, October of 2020, Kivian Cakes was born and officially born. And then I, the overwhelming experience was like, oh my God, I should have started a long time ago because the money started coming in. It felt great. And then most of the monies came in through either Cash App or Zelle, and so persons were ordering. And then the persons who were ordering cakes were persons from out of state because everything was mainly word of mouth or by Instagram or different groups on Facebook. There's a particular page on Facebook which is called Jamaicans Abroad, and I advertise my cakes on there. And there are a lot of persons here in the US who they want Jamaican products, and they paid for it. And it was really, really overwhelming. I was so happy. And then I want to make mention where your wigologist said, she wanted all the influx of customers, but really and truly, you really want it, but do you have the capacity to produce? And that that hit the nail on the head for me, because I was also thinking the same thing. I'm like, oh my God, I want more customers. But then there were nights when I had sleepless nights. My feet were swelling from standing because I'm a home-based business. So therefore, I didn't have like 4 or 5 persons to assist. It was just myself and my boyfriend. So, we really didn't have that capacity. And so give it your all, do what you can do. And then when it's that time for the overwhelming, then it will come. But business have been great. It's been really, really great. I'm overwhelmed by what's going
Who
on.
are your clientele?
Okay, so my main clientele, Jamaicans here in the US and also Americans, because Kivian Cakes not only do Jamaican products, they also do American stuff. So I do pound cakes, I do bundt cakes, I do chocolate covered strawberries, I'll do birthday cakes, all kind of sweet treats. So I do both parties. Like I sell to different people. So I'm not just a one person Jamaican thing. I expand. Yeah. So business is great.
So, all right. So I want to tie in both. So you do Caribbean cake, but you also have from one plate to the next where you do catering,
Okay.
right?
Okay, so from one plate to the next, that really wasn't for anything. That was just my personal page. So when I'd go overseas, I'd, different foods or my personal cooking. So from one plate to the next is not really the business aspect of it. That was just my personal page. But then I'll sometimes post dishes that I do for other people on there. But the food that I cook on Fridays is like jerk chicken, oxtails, curry goat, stuff like that. And then it's amazing how many foreigners love Jamaican food. Like our food is beyond anything else, and they go crazy. Like one of the particular meals that they really go crazy for is the Rasta pasta. Like I make this Rasta pasta and they love, yes, they love that. So that's a hot seller for us. And another one is the barbecue jerk chicken. They love that like crazy. But the Rasta pasta, oh my God, it's crazy. I cannot believe how.
So with Caribbean cake, you're able to ship them off to the various states. But from one plate to the next now, in terms of your catering thing, it's for individuals within your area.
Within our area. So it's within Maryland. Yes. Yes. Within our surrounding areas. Yes. That's what it's for.
So, we were talking earlier today, and you made the point that, for years you've been doing this. You've been baking cake, and you've been giving it to friends. But when your business started, and I want you to make that point, when your business started out, the persons that you expected to support you weren't the ones you see running forward to do that. Because because you do this, now you're expecting, I bake cake for John, Tim, etc. so he will support me. So you kind of pencil it in. So for business person, just tell us how that part went.
Let me expound on that. So when I was giving cakes away, like I would give stuff away, it would go to Canada, it would go all over, New York, everywhere, right? So I'm like, okay, so when I start baking and selling, then persons are gonna buy, like family and friends. Oh no, that was not the case. Like persons I expected who would have supported me did not. And it's okay, because you find that persons love free things, as Jamaicans would say. We love free things and we don't pay for. So once you start to advertise your sales, then persons kind of drift away. And what was most surprising to me were persons who I never really expected who would want to purchase my products. They purchased. And you find persons from Chicago would be buying 4 or 5 cakes. I have a girlfriend in Philly, like her husband, he had a massive sweet tooth, and I'm like, I'm so happy. She would be sending her money like that. She orders, and the minute she orders, she'll send her money via Zelle. And that was really surprising to me. So I want to say this to people. You're doing your business. As I said to you today, as Chronic says, do it for the love, not for the likes, because you will be doing this and you'll be looking at persons like, oh, I support you and I believe you would have supported me, and those persons will not support you. So you do it from the heart and don't look at persons who you expect to support you, because really and truly, you will not be getting the support that you would want to get from the persons you think would support you. You're going to get it from persons you least expect, like persons who don't even know me from that Jamaican page. They're ordering things and reordering. And, that was quite surprising to me. So guess what? Just keep doing your thing. If you love what you do, it will be a blessing. Trust me. It will certainly be a blessing. And another thing too, I must say, don't look at persons who have 5,000 followers and you're thinking, oh, with the 5,000 followers, imagine how many cakes or how many products they're selling. Remember, persons buy followers too, right? And so sometimes it's not always the truth as to what you see. So you're probably making way more money than them with your 5 followers, because word of mouth, not everyone's on Instagram, not everyone's on Facebook. And so you'll find persons from your church. Like for me, there are persons from my church as well. There are persons within the neighborhood. There are persons just word of mouth, and they'll buy your products. So don't just keep a tunnel vision with your items, because once you believe in your product and you're doing the best and you're being true and authentic to your product, it will sell. Yeah.
All right. So as you say, so be true to yourself, be true to your product, set yourself realistic
goals
targets.
And target market. Yes, because it will go, like, you know, and another thing I want to say, people buy with their eyes. Yes. So don't show up trying to sell a product looking all raggedy and looking all, you know, out of place. Because if you come to me with a cake and you look all messy, I'm going to be like, oh, you're a home-based business. I wonder what your home looks like if you look like that. You know, present yourself to people as how you would want someone to present themselves to you. You know what I mean? You go to, because of course I say people buy with their eyes. So you go to a restaurant, you really don't know what the cake tastes like. And even if you've had 5 slices of chocolate cake from different places, they all taste different. So you want to make sure that your product looks good. Clean up the side of your cakes and, you know, make it look pretty, because once person buy it, then once it looks good, they'll buy it. So, you know, make your product presentable.
So growing from strength to strength, 2.5 months in, and you're seeing massive, tremendous support.
Thank you. I receive it.
Yeah, you know, claim it.
Yes, I receive that.
Tremendous support in your sales. Is it a case where you're going to leave the airline industry and take on this full time?
Absolutely not. I will say this. I will not say I will not leave the airline now. I love the airline. I love my job. And I also love baking, because I believe baking is my passion. I think baking has always been my gift. And so I've been baking from I was a little girl. However, I've turned it into a business now. But I do love my job. I love what I do. And it has awarded me to get a chance to see the world for nothing, pretty much. And so because of that, I will hold on. However, I am in a position where I'm able to drop trips here and there and, you know, be able to stay home more. So I can do 2 trips for the month or 3 trips for the month, and then still continue with my business. Of course, being a home-based business, your orders are coming, you know, by the order. And so I can do both, I can juggle both. So that should not be a problem. I don't need to leave the airline, not just yet.
Okay. So, you know, our Live with Dara peeps, they're from all over. Yeah? So if I want to get in touch with you to get one of your Kivian cake, all right, for you to do some kind of catering for them, how can they go about doing that?
Okay, so you can always DM me at Kivian Cakes on Instagram, or our telephone number is 410-776-9146, or we're also on Facebook at Kivian Cakes, or from one plate to the next, you can always send us a DM there as well, and we'll be more than happy to take that order. Or also, I must say too, we also do, like, if you want to do a surprise party, I do cake tables as well. I do, if you want to surprise your wife or your boyfriend at a hotel, we go there, we decorate, and we do the food. If you're having, like, now we're doing there's a big game going on with the Ravens, and you want to do a catering, we'll do jerk chicken wings and rice and peas or whatever it is. Yes. We're not just...
You work alone? You work alone, or you have support?
Well, it's just myself and my boyfriend. Yeah. And we're good.
Okay.
For now, right. Yes. Yeah, we
thank you so much. No, I'm right here. I want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us tonight. I mean, I'm sure you've inspired somebody who has had this thing for baking for the longest while and didn't know.
I hope so.
Yeah, man, to just get up and get.
And another, before I go, I don't know. I think we got a little in break. But I must say this, as if you have a passion for something, go ahead and do it. Don't listen to the naysayers, because I must tell you this, you're going to have moments when you're going to not trust yourself, when you're going to not have faith in yourself, but go ahead and do it. Do it to the best of your ability, because someone will buy your product. Believe in yourself and just go on with full force, and it will practice makes perfect, you know, and just go for it.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Cam. Thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
so
on.
much, Dara, for having me. I enjoy your program and you're doing great.
Thank you. Cheers to you. From one plate to the
Cheers
next.
to
Oh,
you.
girl, I know I normally have my red wine, right? Yeah.
I know what happened. Well, you have to hydrate because of today. You had such a great time.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I had to just drop for the water tonight, but next week. Thank you so much for coming on, though. All right.
Thank you so much. I'll stay on for the
Yeah, Yannick
for
is
your
coming on
other guests
next.
too.
Yeah, Yannick is
Yes.
coming on next.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys. All
Yeah.
right. Bye.
Yeah. All right. So you see, sometimes you have a passion for something, just get up, get going, get started, because you can never tell, where you go, where you reach with it. And sometimes we just sit back and wonder, allow doubt and fear to stop us from making that move. And this lady that I have coming on now will just let you know. Ooh, yeah, Nick, how are you?
Let me see if I
Looking.
can sit up. Boy, Dara, first of all, you guess them nice, bad. You cute, bad. Why you look so?
You look good.
Okay, so,
your body healthy. You are good as.
So I have a whole heap of big up quickly because I see Janella, and I just want to say she's such an amazing friend to you, because I mean she's always so consistent. So just big up the people who, so of course big up the people who are just so kind and consistent in our lives, because I'm telling you, with all of everything that's happening, I think that's kind of like something that I think all of us can take away, which is that people really value that support. The ladies tonight were amazing, so inspiring, and I don't know, why do you need me? These ladies are awesome.
Listen, Nelly, let me tell you something. So I started 2021, and I said, you know what happened? My life, we talk about every and anything. And I wanted to start off with a purpose. We start off by saying we're going to own 2021. Now, these ladies, they knew what they wanted to do, and they set on it, and they're owning it. You see what I'm saying? You have some persons, though, Unique, who they're there and they're wondering, should I? Could I? Can I? All of them questions, doubting, allowing doubt and fear to cripple their thoughts and action. So this is where you come in and just tell them to get up and get going. Based on what you hear from the ladies, the main thing I hear is them saying, listen, if the idea comes to mind, no matter waste time, just get going.
Yeah. So I love their energy and I love the passion and energy, very important, right? But there are a few things that we may have to kind of walk back a little, right? Because for me, and you know this, I've been a global business trainer and coach for almost a decade. And in that time, I've trained over 1,000 people. And I'm talking about entrepreneurs, business leaders from over 100 countries. And you may say, Yannick, over what? Yes. I can't think of a country that, off the bat that I've not trained an entrepreneur from. And so a lot of what I share is coming from a depth of experience. It's not book knowledge alone, right? It is living through people and actually experiencing their growth journey and being a part of that, right? So I think I want to talk about kind of, do you jump into a business because you're passionate about it? I have some specific advice for each of them. By the way, they're great. They're fantastic. And so I'm just thinking about how can I add some value to enhance what they're doing?
Right.
And, but let me start where you started, which is fear. So I love that you start with fear, because it is actually, and if we're talking about conquering fear to start a business, right? Where does fear come from, Dara? Fear is actually a biological reaction that begins in the brain.
Yes.
Right? It's in what we call the oldest part of the brain, that is called the amygdala, or the lizard brain. And so it's that part of the brain that we describe as the most primal part, which was, you know, when we were out in, not as fancy and sophisticated as we are now, and we were out in the wild and pretty much had, we're faced with danger. What that part of the brain did for us was to tell us, listen, you either need to run, right? Or you need to fight. So it was either fight or flight. And the truth is, every time you experience fear, remember that it is coming from a place that it's actually a reaction in your brain, and it's coming from the oldest part of the brain. You don't ever get rid of fear, right? Because it is important, because sometimes we do need to run away, right? And for those who live in Jamaica, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? But then I think, what we need to do is to really say to ourselves, is this a situation that is going to keep me stuck? Because sometimes the things that we fear most, and there's a saying that I've been saying from the start of the year, right? Which is that a sheep will spend its entire life being afraid of the wolf and is ultimately eaten by the shepherd. And the point of that is that sometimes the things that keep us back, the things that hurt us, the things that keep us from growing are the things that we feel most safe doing. It's actually your safe space, your safe space, your comfort zone. That's what actually prevents you from being great. I mean, if I were to think about every time, and you know me from a long time, if I were to think about every time somebody told me I couldn't do it and I wasn't ready for this, and if I had to wait on somebody to gift me an opportunity to tell me, hey, listen, don't, you can apply for this global position, I don't know where I would be. I wouldn't have grown. And so what I learned to do is to train my lizard brain that this situation is not going to scare me because I need to grow. And so the natural reaction of, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this, I don't allow myself to be paralyzed in that way. And so, I just want to kind of explain that, and also to remind everybody that you cannot grow where you're most safe. Right? So let's put that out there. All right. So passion and business, you need passion, because if you're not passionate about what you do, it's unlikely that you're going to be able to compete with the best in the world. That's what you do, right? So I live, breathe, sleep entrepreneurship. I write about it. I do TV shows about it. And I train, I coach. I was talking to someone recently, and, they're going through a really tough time, and, somebody's in the hospital that's sick with COVID. And during the middle of it, when she's really heavy, and I said, by the way, how is business? And she said, oh my God, Yannick, and I said, okay, but, just tell me, let's talk. And part of it was that I wanted to bring her to a different place. But the other part was I genuinely wanted to know how business is doing, right? And so that Dara is the passion that keeps me going, that makes me, as far as I'm concerned, the top of my game. Because for you to compete with me, you have to have that kind of passion. But the question is your passion where, and I want everybody to listen to me, where you will get the highest and best return on your time, energy, effort, money? That's an important question. Is that passion where you are going to find the market that is most feasible, most viable, most attractive? Because you could be there and you're making muffin, for example, when in fact the highest and best return on your time is to actually do a lot more than that. So this is why when you come with an idea, the first thing that you need to actually do is to try to work out, what's the business model here? How do I make money from this? What are the income streams? What are the trends looking like? What are the other opportunities? And anybody who has been coached by me knows that, one of the things I do is I stretch you, because you're going to come and say, Anika, I love to do this. I said, great. But what we need to do is to look at your other options first, right? I mean, you don't marry the first guy that comes along there, right?
Right.
Right? Because you don't know if there would be better out there. Right? And it's the same principle, which is that what we do is that we go through a process where we do a local scan, and we do a regional scan, and we do a global scan. And then we ask ourselves, we set out some criteria first. Okay, so profit is definitely one of them, because if you're not profitable, then it's really difficult to grow and to expand,
right?
To keep that sustenance. But then there are other things that may be important to you. So what we do is that we evaluate your options based on certain criteria. That's not just about being solid in business, but that's personal to you. And I think that's a really great starting point, because sometimes what we do is that we cheat ourselves of the opportunity to be even more. because we're so in love with an idea. And as entrepreneurs, you can't afford to be so in love with an idea that you lose sight of the fact that you're not the customer and that you're not the person that you're serving. And that really when you're in business, you're there to serve. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Unique. So for the three ladies that were on earlier, right? I'm a person.
Yes.
Let's talk about, so you kind of started off with the do's and the don'ts, you know,
yes,
especially that one about your passion, because actually, you know, I can love something and think it's the best thing ever, and when we go on road with it, nobody don't like it, and it actually demotivates you to the point where you don't even want to go further. Let's do some do's and don'ts here for persons who just getting started up.
Okay, so by the way, I want to warn people against some things. You know, when you're just getting started, you have a big push that you initially get. You know, that young lady from the US who was on, I'm so happy that she made the point that, boy, sometimes it's not your family and friends that support you, but in many cases it is. And sometimes there is, what happens is that because, you know, I tell people, beware of the pity purchase, which is the people who will buy from you one time because you're just starting, but they're not going to be your continuous customer. So you have to ask yourself, who is going to buy from me on a continuous basis, and do I have proof of this? So before you invest heavily in that, you really want to make sure that you have those proof points, Dara. That's so important, right? I want to give some specific advice for some of you, and you don't have to take it. I'm just going to throw it out there, you know, so I don't want to be presumptuous and say, you know, they never ask you for advice. But a few things that I think are really important. For the lady who is doing the glasses, I love it because she has identified a problem. That industry in the Caribbean, in terms of eyeglasses, it needs disruption because there are people who are paying, as you say, 100,000. There's a huge, what has happened is that there's huge profit potential, which she has recognized. And so what she's doing is coming in and actually cutting the cost down. And that's also, you know, as well as doing great designs. I want her to also investigate the licensing requirements around that. Some of the things you don't understand, that when you disrupt an industry, you have to play chess, because you have to ask yourself, who else is in the industry and what are they going to do? Because they're going to come with a response. The first thing they may say is this person a licensed optician? Is this person being regulated? And before you know it, everybody jump down on you like, you know what? So, you know, and I'm saying this from experience, you know, unfortunately, success brings a lot of enemies.
Yes.
Right? Right? And when you go in business, you think, oh, everybody's going to be so happy that I'm an entrepreneur. Oh, heck no. Right? You know, they're happy you're an entrepreneur as long as you're not threatening their turf. And typically what you're doing is that when you come in, you're taking away somebody else's food. So most times, unless you start something that's really brand new. So find out what those licensing requirements are to be an optician. Make sure that you do your disclaimers up front. And, you know, maybe what you would want to do in the meantime is kind of establish a partnership with people who are licensed so that you're able to, you know, mitigate your risk. But also you want Dara and everybody to be comfortable that whatever it is that you've sold them, you know, you were capable and able to do that, right? And that's part of being in business is making sure that you're certified in that area. So for me, I'm a certified entrepreneurship trainer. I can say that, right? And so you really want to look out for the certifications and say, okay, I don't want anybody who is in this business to come and say that they're better than me. You know what I mean? For the lady who has the wigs and the hair products, and first of all, her energy, she should be in acting. She's amazing. Her energy, everything is amazing. You know, one thing I would say that jumped out at me right at the back, Dara, is that, you know, her, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the spelling of her business, it is certified, but with an S.
Yes.
Yes, all right. So one of the things I like to warn people about when you're starting a business, you know, names that are very unique are wonderful for children, not necessarily for business. And I want you to follow me now. I am used to spelling certified a certain way. So when you said certified, I was thinking CE, and I was going to actually start looking for it. It's in the background. I look and I say, oh, it's spelled with an S. What have you done when you have done that? And I'll give you an example because somebody did it and bought, you know, they have a cake place and it has a particular name. And, you know, she sent a cake to somebody and the person was on TV bigging her up, and then she's spelling it in the way that it is normally spelled. So what you're doing is that your customer is going to be confused because they're going to be looking for you and they're used to a certain way that word is spelled. The other thing is that you're giving unless you have a lot of money to spend, you are going to have to spend money. Instead of teaching the market about what you do, you have to teach them about how your name spell. I don't know that that's necessarily a good marketing spend, unless that's part of your strategy and you have the money to do that. I hope that makes sense for everybody, right? So I want you guys to think about that, which is that once you create a unique name with a unique way that it is spelled, you are going to have to spend more money to educate your market about that. And that time and money could be spent educating your market about the value that you provide. So that's something to really think about. You know, the other thing is that for all of these ladies, start thinking about scale. I think the lady at the end, you know, spoke about it. How do you scale? So, you know, the lady with the hair products, one of the things that, I mean, her products are fantastic, you know, but she's obviously going higher end, right, Dara? And to go higher end, you need to demonstrate the value. And so it's important to identify, well, what problems am I solving? Who am I solving them for? And then make sure that you're using language that really connects with them, and how you package everything is going to be so important. If you're making anything that goes on people's hair, scalp, skin, there are standards for that. I'm assuming that she's done all of that already, that she went to the Bureau of Standards, and that, you know, she has gotten there okay. And if she hasn't, then she's going to run there and kind of look at what those standards are, because it's really important that, you know, you want to make sure that what you're doing is safe and that you're meeting the requirements, right? And typically, if you want to actually put your product on the shelf, like which is what I would encourage her to do. If you're going to put your products on the shelf at pharmacies or in other hair care places, they typically ask for that, right? So that's important. For all the ladies, I hope they realize that they're running multiple businesses, right? I mean, you know, you're in manufacturing, but then you're also in distribution, right? Right? So, I mean, what I want to warn against, and I think everybody had like several things going on, and even when you were saying, okay, tell me what you do again, you know, for a little while it became confusing because I heard cakes and then I heard kids, and then I was like, oh my goodness. And so I felt like I was all over the place. And when you're just starting, it's really helpful to choose just one baby. You know, when you start in a business, it's important for you to focus on just one thing at a time, because it's like having a baby in a Dara. You can imagine that we have a baby and, you know, we're taking care of the baby, and the baby reached 3 months and we say, all right, we are nurse the baby. And then before you know it, we say, no, we're ready for another one. And we pop out this next baby. But the first baby don't get no care yet. The first baby don't get no nutrition. The first baby can't even speak, talk, nothing, walk, nothing. It's the same thing with our business, right? You got to get to the business to the point where it is at its potential, at least, and then there's somebody else who manages that before you get distracted and start looking at something else.
All right. So as it now stands, Yannick, so that is for the specifically for my 3 guests, and I'm sure they're taking those criticisms and really just start it out and make sure, because they have really wonderful products and services that they're offering, and it's only to ensure that they're protecting themselves, and that's what you're urging them to do. What are you seeing in terms?
It's not criticism. We're enhancing what they're doing because they're so amazing, right? Yeah. So we're not even using that language to kind of turn the body off. No. Here, we support you. We love what you're doing. It's a pandemic, and you're bold and you're brave, and you've conquered the lizard brain, and you're amazing for that. And what we want to do is to say to you up front, these are my experiences. Here are some of the things that you need to look out for. And then we can talk about how do you actually continue to sell more, right? Because at the end of the day, who is going to be that chief revenue officer? How much of your time is actually spent in the business rather than working on the business? So if you want to start talking about how you make money, and I see my wonderful Susanna from Argentina. Hi, Susanna. I'm seeing some of my colleagues and my friends joining on. You know, so, and thank you. Hi, Empress. Good to see you. Hey, guys. Hi, Spicy. Buy your life. Turn up the Dara. Me, I tell you, say,
no, you come on next week. Come on next week and give me the numbers.
So you know, so how I feel is that, you know, you have to get to the point where you are able to step back and stop working as much in the business as you are working on the business. I mean, one of the things that I learned from, you know, business leaders who I've met, and I've met some amazing business leaders, from Brian Chesky, who co-founded Airbnb. Nicest, most humble guy, you know, to Richard Branson, for example. And by the way, and these folks are generally very nice and humble, and so willing to share, you know, what they have learned. And one of the things, yeah, and I'm going to share with you something that Brian Chesky shared with us at the Global Entrepreneurship Summit. It was the last one that President Obama hosted before he demitted office, and it was in Silicon Valley. And he shared some gems that I'm going to share with you. And one thing that he said was that when he launched Airbnb, he did it, so it was about 7 times before they actually, I mean, 7 times of trying to launch it and trying to get it out there before it was actually successful. Mm-hmm. And at one point, he was living at home with his parents having ramen. You know, the cheapest meal you can get, because he had no money. And his partners had all but given up. You know, and for those who don't know, Airbnb had revolutionized the hotel industry, you know, vacations, you know, affordable, you know, it worked so well for both sides of the market. And one thing that he said was that, and this I found was really helpful. He said, you know what kept us going? When we actually pitched this business model and we got customers, we didn't have a lot of customers, but the customers that we had loved what we were doing. They were so passionate about what we were doing that they became the people who were talking about and spreading this positive word of mouth about what we do. Mm-hmm. The most important thing for him is not how many customers you have. It is the depth of the relationship with the customers, the extent to which they love what you're doing. That is the measure of success, because there are a lot of companies now that they're making a lot of money and their customers hate them. The only reason they're with them is because they don't have a choice. We know who they are. We're not calling them name from the live. But only, right? If we never do business with them, we wouldn't do business with them. But because we don't have the options. So you know, they're successful because the market is broken. They're successful because they've been able to lobby and the laws are in their favor. So you have to pay insurance, for example. If you had a choice, you would pay it for some types, right? I mean, so the point is, what he was saying is that look at the extent to which people actually love you. It's better to have, and his exact words, it's better to have 100 people who absolutely love your business than to have 1,000 who just like it. Oh my goodness, that was powerful. So we don't necessarily, you guys don't have to get overwhelmed that you don't have a whole heap. You don't need a whole heap. You need a few who love you, who will be with you, you'll have extended customer lifetime value, who will spread positive word of mouth, because that's way better than any advertisement, any post, any sponsored post, right? And that is where you're gonna find your tribe. Yeah, and I hope that's helpful.
Yeah. Sound advice there, Unique. I mean, I'm here listening to you. Getting it in. Unique, before you go, talk to us about some of the trends you see now in terms of businesses that are definitely no-nos, and for somebody starting up, you say to them, listen, no bother with that. Don't bother go that road.
All right. So I think, you know, the first thing is that we have a general challenge in the entire Latin American Caribbean region with starting a business based on our need. We need to be our own boss when I want to work for people. We need to earn a living. We need extra money. That's the wrong reason to get in business, because you will always have a boss, and the boss is the customer. So, you know, the most important thing for you to do is to be an opportunity-based entrepreneur, not a necessity-based or necessity-driven entrepreneur. So if the minute you see yourself going into business because you need And rather than you found an opportunity, which you were able to quantify, which you're able to estimate what the trajectory would likely be, which you're able to say, these are my value propositions, here's who I'm going to serve. I mean, that is the starting point. The next thing is, the worst thing that you can do is start a business and you haven't even started to talk to your customers. So it's like me, when I start a business, Dara, I'm saying, Dara, I'm going to sell you a dress. Dara, when you look at me, Yannick, you don't know if I wear a dress. You don't know what size I am. You don't know how much money I have to spend, but you could have right. It's kind of ridiculous that I just go and say, Dara, here's a dress. I have no idea what you like, what your budget is. So it's important for you to start with an understanding of your target market, which means you have to define it. If you don't start there, then you're completely lost. It's very difficult to build a solid business if you haven't started identifying, who am I trying to serve? What problems am I trying to fix for them? And how do I create value that makes me unique? Why would they choose me and not the competition? In terms of the types of business that are going to do very well, you know, I would say that right now, anything in logistics, transportation, technology, food, pharmaceuticals, things that make people live longer, healthier, stronger, very important. You're going to have a huge shift in education happening in terms of what futurists are looking at. We expect massive changes in how people work, the future of work. It's already here. And so I would actually ask you to follow the World Economic Forum, look at some of what they're projecting, follow McKinsey and look at some of what they're projecting. There are going to be industries that will disappear, unfortunately, as happened with the last pandemic. I've studied every major recession since 1918 when after we had the Spanish flu, and the most significant one before this was the 2008 recession. It took the world it took the US, the greatest economy in the world, 8 years to come out of that 8 years to come out of that recession. People don't know that when Obama took over, he took over one of the worst recessions in global history, and it took 8 years. If it's one thing that that people said that was true, is that it was the longest recovery. But Dara, guess what? At that time, the global economy shrunk by less than 1%. Already we've seen shrinkage globally of more than 3%. So don't expect the world to go back to normal. But remember that there were companies that emerged from recessions that were greater than before. There are opportunities. So it's not for us to cry over what has gone. It is for us to start creating what will come.
I know, especially in education. I see a shift. You mentioned it in how education is treated now. I mean, I know a lot of people unemployed and saying, oh, I don't have a work and everything like that. But you can start by doing the homeschooling thing, whatever it is that you're doing. Because I realize there's a need for that right now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's go to this thing now. I want you to give us, I don't know if you have 5, we can think of 5 things, don'ts that you see businesses doing now, and you want to say, listen, don't do this now. I know something that you always, because I follow you, of course, and something that you're always fussing about is this thing about, this simple little thing, DM for price, that run customers, you know?
Yes.
So tell us about some of those, at least give us 5 don'ts as business operators that we must just get rid of immediately.
Yes. So I've been saying this for a long time, you know, a lot of people who start businesses online, that's great. And that's where you want to be. To tell your customers, hey, you know, please DM me for the prices. It's either you're trying to build a business or you're keeping a secret. You got to pick one, right? So, you know, if you're keeping a secret, well then fine. If you're like Louis Vuitton and your products are priced and this is your branding strategy and this is where you want to come in at the market, well then that's fine, because Louis Vuitton doesn't post their prices either, right? You got to DM them for price. But I mean, you know, if you're competing in the marketplace and that's not your strategy, then it's, you know, what you're doing is that, one, you're giving yourself unnecessary work. 2 is that you are creating distrust in the mind of the consumer. And, you know, 3, you're giving the customer more work. Your job is to make the customer life easy. You're not supposed to have stress them, make them extra step. No, make them look, and if they can't afford them, move on, right? So right. We don't ask them to DM for price. We do. First of all, I have noticed that customer service is something that people don't take that seriously. We take customer service very seriously. In Jamaica right now, where 70% of the businesses are service-based. But Dara, how often do you go anywhere and get service? Get really good service. And if you complain, you hear that you're miserable. A complaint from a customer is a gift. Let me give you that gem. Let me say it again. A complaint from a customer is a gift. It's an opportunity to do things better. In fact, research shows that the customer who complains and his or her complaint is satisfactorily dealt with ends up being more sticky to you, as in they are more faithful to you than the customer who never complained. When a customer complains and don't just want to make up noise, they actually want you to fix it. So it's important for you to treat it as a gift, right? Love, love, love that. The other thing I want you to actually think about when you are in business is that your job is really to make your customers feel valued and to make their lives easy. And it's important to ask them, what else can I do to serve you? Do you know how many times I'm doing business with a company and they never even ask me, what else do you need? How can we serve you better? I mean, that's like leaving money on the table. You know, I mean, so one of the things I always ask at the end of every client meeting is, so what are you guys working on this year? And how can I support you guys, right? Because I know that for my customers, I always just asking that question, that's giving you a lead, right? The other thing is that I may not be able to help, but Dara, guess what? Just asking you. You notice I asked you today the question I asked you when you and I spoke? Dara called me and I said, so what's up? What are you doing? It's my check-in, because, you know, what I want you to know is that I am here to support you and that I want to build a relationship with you. And that if you need my support, I'm here. The way of the future is building relationships with customers that are sticky, where they feel so much trust and they feel so good about working with you that's what they want to do. And the truth is, it's been the best thing for me, because I can tell you that, like, you know, I mean, a lot of my contracts are really long term, you know, and we have this relationship, and guess what? They refer me and they nominate me for awards, and they, you know, and a lady called me, you know, and I'm like, how'd you get my, oh, so-and-so said, so what happens there is that then you have these people who are now selling for you, which is amazing. Right. The other thing I want people to actually think about is right now where the world is going is that we have a lot of people on this planet and we are going through climate change and we're in serious trouble, and anything and everything that supports how we can start to reverse that, as well as how we can cut down, that's where the world is going. So, you know, people say, oh, I don't want to eat artificial meat. Okay, but we can't sustain the meat that we eat, though. The world cannot sustain all the cow and everything. We cannot sustain the meat eating. I think so. I want people to start looking at what our future is predicting. Where are we going? Because a lot of what we're experiencing now is going to change. Unfortunately, it's going to get hotter. Unfortunately, you know, we're going to see wild weather. Unfortunately, you know, some of our industries that depend on tourism, for example, are going to go because of climate change. And so it's a very scary proposition, but at the same time, I want people to think about that. And the last thing is, we're living longer. That's the good news. We're living longer. We're having better quality of life. People can change different careers. People are doing so many different things. It's okay for you to support people's quest to live a happier, healthier, longer life, and to understand that in some cases you have an aging population, you know, because people are living longer. But it also means that people who are at that stage in their lives, they have so many more services that they need. They are the people with a lot of money. Believe it or not, in your 60s is when you're most productive in your life. And I hope to know all who love to cuss old people, but old people, this old people that they're the most productive. They tend to have the most money, Dara, and they tend to know what they want. And their market, that's really not, you know, not well served. Right. So I'm giving you guys a bonus tip here now, right? Because if you want to know who will have the money, who will spend, and I hope that's helpful.
Janella said something, and I want to just point it out. Janella is saying, and it's so true, a lot of businesses, they're spending a lot more money and more effort on like social media marketing. But as it relates to the customer service side of it, it is whack. Totally different. You see that a lot, right? Where the focus now is on social media and marketing the company, but when you step in there, it goes back to the same customer service thing.
So you know what the problem is, Dara? The customer service training for them starts at the bottom. As somebody who has worked with companies, unfortunately, no matter how you tell the leadership that the customer service training must start at the top, and it must be something that it must be a culture. It must be something that they believe in. It's not a buzzword. It's not a project. It's not, so part of the problem is that the leadership doesn't believe in it. For everybody who is watching, if you've never done customer service training before, you have no business starting a business. Because the purpose of business is not just to attract, grow, and keep customers. It is to actually make them so happy that they become fanatic about your business. It's not just to make profit. That's a very myopic, really narrow, view of the success of a business, right? Because, profit is important, but if your customers hate you, or if you're so profit driven that you're cheating customers and you don't care how you treat them, then you're going to have a problem. So you're absolutely right. Janela is right. Janela, amazing point. Thank you for that. And so what you're seeing is a lack of authenticity from these companies. Because they don't believe it. That's why they're treating it like dog. Because I tell people all the time, when I was physically in office, and I don't do that anymore, if the phone ring 2-3 times, I get miserable in the Dara. Because first of all, first thing I tell you, I don't want a machine answer my phone. Why? But you know how long it took me to get one customer? You know what music it was in my ears when my phone ring for the first time? So I don't want any machine talking to my customer. My customer must be greeted by a person who knows that we are happy that they called. Right? And so, I think that, when you know how hard it is to actually build something from scratch, and that you need these customers, to understand that you are only here for them, that's kind of authenticity that you just can't fake. And I think some of these companies need to look at their leadership seriously.
Yeah. 2021, we started this thing of owning 2021. Yes. And you're saying, get up, get going. Look at the industries that need your service right now and get started. You can start a business in a pandemic and you can succeed.
Whew. Okay. See how my heart already for 2021? Yes. Okay. So, the lights are really hot. How you manage your lights? Because the lights, I put on the lights so that you can see me, but
the ring light?
Beautiful.
I don't have a ring light on because it gives me the circle in my eyes. So I'm using the ceiling light, the roof light.
Okay, girl. All right, we have to go look at that.
We talk.
I think one thing I would say is that let's not talk about owning 2021. Let's talk about owning ourselves and owning our capacity and owning our own leadership potential. Let's talk about how we improve ourselves. Because the truth is, every year you should be investing more and more in improving yourself. And in doing so, you start to own your space even more. And so that's where I want people to look at. I think, I found that Caribbean people have a real issue with investing in themselves. And it's really devastating because when I do these global programs, when I go to these conferences, I do these trainings, very few Caribbean people are at the table because they don't even apply for the opportunity. They might say, oh, yeah, I can't, but the form too long and I can't, but I fill it out. And I'm like, okay, but if you're not on the table, you're on the menu. What are you doing? Because these are opportunities that one of my sister queens, and I'm going to say this again, in this pandemic, there's an opportunity I shared with everybody, and she's the only one who applied. She got a grant for $30,000 US. How much? 30,000 US. What is it? A grant. She'd have to pay it back. I won't mention her name. I bigged her up already. But the point is, and people get excited and like, oh, how I didn't hear about this. No, you heard. You just did not think that you were worthy of applying for the opportunity. You didn't have the confidence because your lizard brain had killed you. And you just didn't want to put in the work. You didn't even take the step to message me and say, Yannick, tell me more about this. Or, hey, can we talk? Can you tell me how to apply? And so unfortunately, these opportunities seem to go to the same people over and over again because they're the ones who show up at the table. Yeah.
Yannick, I'm sure you have persons on here right now who would want to have that sit down with you and for you to help them, to guide them in the process of owning. Let's talk about that. How can we reach out to you?
Okay, so please go ahead and send me, there's a link in my bio. I believe in efficiency. You don't have to send me a message. You can just click the link in my bio and it takes you to an appointments page. Okay, guys, we're owning technology for 2021. Digital marketing, digital transformation, everything is. So for me, I like the technology. Or you can send an email if you would like. But the easiest way is that you can always book it. Just click the link in any of my bios anywhere, and it takes you directly to a page where you can book an appointment with me at your convenience, whenever you like it. There, my calendar shows up. You can see when I'm available. You can see that you can see the services. You can choose, pay online, everything. You'll get, and everything is automatic. You know how much people work that cut out one time? Right? So this is the way, Dara, that you can own also, you know, own a business, and you don't have the money to hire multiple people, but you're using the applications that support you. So I'm Yannick Page everywhere. Click the link in my bio, please. Or if you really love to be, if you really love to be, you know, just if you're energetic and you can't wait, send me a direct message or email me at market@marketleadusa.com. That's market@marketleadusa.com.
Yannick, thank you so much. So listen, I had to have you on. I had to have you on my live.
Yes.
Listen, I'm just happy that you are able to share your wealth of knowledge with my guests and for other persons listening on and watching as well. And I'm just hoping that they'll just use this opportunity to just grow. And, you know, for those that my 3 guests, they have awesome businesses. And I just hope they just use this opportunity to just use it and just grow and be bigger and better this year. So thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much. I mean, see, Camille, she's saying, let me see, she's saying, thank you, Yannick, such a powerful gem, such powerful gems. So yeah, you see, reach them. The message reach the people. Let me see.
I see it. I'm feeling so good. Come here, tell you, I'm hungry. I lick my back, say, come never did eat yet. And I said, but now I'm going to drop down. So guys, I'm so happy that this was useful for you. I'm just so happy this was useful for you. Remember that I write a column for the Gleaner. I'm one of the longest small business writers. And by the way, how did I get that column? I realized that the Gleaner did not have a column on small business. I said, no, but I go pitch it. So again, nobody ever asked me. I mean, pitch it to them, right? And somebody who came to my course, I said to him, pitch to the Gleaner. He has been writing for the Gleaner for several years. So, you know, I just want to say that, you know, I really believe in, you know, let's release that fear. You know, we're not going to own 2021. We're going to own our own capacity to do these things. And I want to thank you all for your engagement, for your love. I appreciate it. Dara, you're amazing. I love you from day one. You've always been, people, you see the person that you see here, she's very kind. When I first got into media, there were people who were very mean. Dara was one of those who was very kind, very authentic, and I've never forgotten you. And this is why you will call me at a minute's notice, and I would say yes. And I would tell everybody else no, but I would say no, I'm booked out in April, because I really am booked out in April. But for you, I'm available, girl, because I love you. Mwah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you so much for coming on. Big up your flipping self.
Yes.
All right, Yanni, take care. Guys, all right, so there you have it. You know, I started off by saying owning 2021, but Yanni is saying own yourself. Own yourself, and when you own yourself, you own 21, 22, 23, all of the above. I'm so happy, Camille. I'm so happy, Sertina. I'm so happy, Deandra, that you guys were able to get some information, some gems from Yannick on how to grow your business. And I'm hoping that you use this to be bigger and better as we progress. Thank you so much, Janella. Guys, thank you for joining me again on Live with Dara. And see you next week when we have another topic as we continue to own. I was saying own in 2021, but as we continue to own ourselves and make ourselves bigger. Stasia, big up yourself. You know? Yeah. We continue to make ourselves bigger and better. See you all next week. Thank you so much for coming on. Take care. All right. So I need to... I'm trying to end this. Oh yeah. Watch it on YouTube if you yeah, it's on YouTube, guys. I was just trying to end it and something came in. But yeah, this is gonna be, I'll have it up for about 1 hour here, and then it will be on my YouTube channel. Guys, remember, listen, I have the YouTube channel and it's a struggle to get up there. Go and subscribe now. Go and like it and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Take care, guys.